out Sonic sells for $5. They're getting exposed. As Grumps point out, it took them 2 years for Capcom. So they're now getting exposed and people are mad. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. That is what I'm hoping. What's going on with Capcom? Tell us about that.
Can't wait to play Mega Man. Sure, that's around the corner.
Are they doing a new, like, are you joking now, or are they doing a new gender-bent Mega Man?
There was like a 12-point thing that came out a week ago about how they localize games and pretty much admitted that they put fucking real-world bullshit before an accurate translation, which is the stupidest thing.
Yeah.
They're saying, well, we got to take DEI into consideration in this translation. What the hell does any of that have to do with just translating what they say to English? This is so stupid. So, yeah, Capcom is cocked. Which is fine. They have a backlog of shit I can play, so.
That's the beauty with all of these game stuff. I mean, we've spoken about this before. Like, most of the games coming out, well, not most of the games coming out, that's not correct, but most of the AAA high-end games are just like blockbuster movies, are new installments in long since established franchises. The cool thing about that is that people can, in many cases, go back and revisit older and, more often than not, far better iterations of the games now coming out. Like, for instance, yeah, Street Fighter. There's plenty Street Fighters going back more than 30 years.
Yeah, I still play. I have the arcade one up of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which has all of those verse fighters on it. I play that every other day, just about. It's right next to where I'm sitting right now.
Exactly. So I just hope that that gamers increasingly will do that. Go back and revisit older games that you didn't try, because chances are they're going to be better than the new ones, gameplay wise, certainly story wise, and assuming that we're talking PlayStation 3 era, they're even going to compete graphics wise, because some of the games from 15 years ago look better than the newest ones coming out right now, don't they?
Yeah.
Which you wouldn't think was the case, but it is. I mean, it doesn't help if the game is 4K or even 8K if it looks like shit, and a 1080p game for PlayStation 3, all in all, looks sharper and better.
Yeah, I really want to get a backwards compatible PS3, specifically the 60 gig one, because that one actually has, I think, PS2 hardware in it.
Yeah, it does.
So it doesn't
the
emulate.
very first one that came out. That was the absolute
they're very sought after now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really want. You can get Melanie Mac posted one. She said she got it for like $200-something, which
that was a steal.
Yeah,
that was a steal.
I would pay that for. I want to get a 60 gig PS3 that's backwards compatible, and go back and especially play some PS2 games, because then it would look good on my TV.
Of course, and all you have to do is also, of course, upgrade the hard drive. You can upgrade to up to 1 gig, regardless of.
Oh yeah,
or no, not 1 gig, but 1 terabyte.
Yeah,
you can
throw that in there.
Up to 1 terabyte. Of course, you have bigger hard drives, but that's the problem with the hardware in it. Even if you put in, for instance, a 2 or 3 terabyte hard drive, because they exist now, it can't use more than 1 terabyte of the hard drive space. So that's the maximum you can use on the PlayStation 3. I found that out when I tried to update to a 2 terabyte drive.
Yeah, I'd really like to, because I've been playing Dragon Ball Z Kakarot and having a lot of fun with that, because they gave it a next-gen update. So, I mean, it looks really good in performance mode. It's making me want to go back and play all those PS2 Dragon Ball games, which there's a shit ton of. I want to go back and play all of those.
Yeah, I mean, there's enough games to keep you entertained. Let's put it that way. There's no reason to support these games that have been ruined by third-party TEI companies. I mean, the moment there's a whiff of them, there's no need to waste your money. Go and check out any of the countless games where that didn't happen, which are just great games in their own right, undisturbed by anything else.
I'd really like to go back and play some old PS1 RPGs too. Like, I mean, that system was a RPG machine. So it'd be
And
great to
that
play
would,
those on my on my new TV. You know, like I think they'd probably look pretty damn good, upscaled. Because I think it did upscale those PS1 games.
the PlayStation 3 would, yeah.
Yeah.
And any PlayStation 1 game works on any PlayStation 3, any model.
Yeah, but I want to play the second.
But I would say though that those games, they were never meant to be played on a big screen, so I don't know how good they're gonna look. You'd be better on the smaller screen.
I'm gonna let you know when I find out.
Yeah, because certainly what I know, because like the first console that was like made to be seen on a big screen, PlayStation 2.
Oh yeah, you know, speaking of the PS2, what would be fun too is to go back and play some of those Bond games that came out on it. Do you remember?
Oh
those?
yeah, for sure.
You can't; those will never be re-released, which
No,
sucks.
no, never.
I'd love to remember Agent Under Fire.
Yeah, I have it.
Man, that game was great. I'd love to go back and play some of those, and that's what I want to do. Get back into old games.
Yeah. No, actually, do, and I hope that many more people do, because honestly, I feel that right now, on the whole, because of where we are right now in history and the influences that is affecting TV, movies, and video games alike, maybe there's going to come a time in the future where games and movies and TV series are going to be better again. But right now, we are at a creative slump, an artificially induced slump, where stuff really were better in the not too distant past. And you'd honestly be better off rediscovering an old classic and a hidden gem than waiting for the next AAA release. You'd be better off with yesteryear's AAA release than tomorrow's AAA release or today's AAA release. So yeah, go for it. But I would say though that for PlayStation 1, you'd probably be much better off playing it on a smaller screen, because that early polygon graphics, it was rough by modern standards, because that was brand new technology at the time. They hadn't mastered it. They would master it much, much more for the PlayStation 2 era, because this I remember from the time, because I was there.
Well, a lot of
PlayStation 2 was built as this you can play on a big screen.
Well, a lot of the RPGs I want to play are like sprites and stuff, so that should probably, those hold up pretty well, actually.
Yeah, like pixel art does hold up incredibly well.
So we'll see.
Yeah, well, do keep me posted about it. But like for instance, I remember that 16-bit games, for that the recommendation was looks absolute best on a 14-inch screen. You can play on bigger, but 14-inch was the recommendation there. And of course, a little bit bigger on the PlayStation 1, but it wasn't like until PlayStation 2 when it was like, oh, this you play on the biggest screen you possibly can get.
Yeah.
This clip was taken from Midnight's Edge in the Morning, which streams live every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 9 AM Pacific Time on the Midnight's Edge main channel. There you can send in your live questions and comments before clips and full stream replays are uploaded to Midnight's Edge live archives. We are also on Twitter, Rumble, Odyssey and Facebook, so smash that like, help share, subscribe and join us.